Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Sue. How are you?
I'm very well. How about yourself, Donna?
I'm doing great.
Great.
Candace, which office are you with?
In Newark,
Newark.
the new one that is opening.
Awesome.
We're
Well-
gonna have inauguration in January, so everyone is invited.
Welcome. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll just wait a few minutes till we get more people and then we'll get started.
Sure, no problem.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Lillian.
Good morning.
All right, good morning, everyone. We'll probably have less people on just because we did make a change. We're just very excited to announce that today is our first Tech Tuesday for KV Core. I think, you know, the point of us starting this Tuesday Mastermind was with all the new changes, right? We needed all the help we can to understand the forms, how to complete them. Obviously, the dot loop, there's been changes. So I appreciate you guys all being here. And I feel like now we're at a point where we need to go to the next level, which is KV Core. We need to start getting ready for 2025. I hope most of you had business plannings with your managers. And this is going to really help you guys with utilizing KV Core. We have it, it's there, you should use it. So we sent out an email this morning with the agenda, so you guys should know what to expect. Please make sure you can log into your KV Core. You can no longer, if you haven't been on KV Core in a long time, please remember the only way you can sign in now is with your remax.net email. You all have one. If you don't know what your remax.net email is, reach out to your manager so they can help you guys figure that out. But it is starting 6 weeks in. I'm just gonna mute everyone. Give me 1 second.
You know what it is?
Donna, unmute yourself.
I muted myself as well. So please make sure that you have access to KV Core, and then it's going to be 6 weeks. They will be recorded. They will be on our hub. So if you miss a session, don't worry. But this is supposed to be interactive. So make sure you maybe should log into KV on the Zoom from your phone, or if you have an extra desktop or laptop, so that way you can kind of follow along. Worst case scenario, you can just listen in and then it's recorded. And then later on in the evening, you guys can go back and rewatch it and follow along. Without further ado, I just want to go, I'm going to open dot loop, but you guys can ask me. This session is, it doesn't have to be dot loop. It can be anything that you guys come up with. If you need any help, if you want role playing, if you had any concerns or issues with handling the buyer agency agreement. As you guys know, the final approval was signed off last week. I do expect the real estate commission to make changes. They have been very quiet since the lawsuit, and I think they just wanted to wait until it was finalized. And now that it has been finalized, we're probably going to see changes. I don't know if any, they will make changes on the buyer agency agreement, on the designated agency. So please just pay attention to your emails. We will keep you guys updated. Every Friday, we're sending out a newsletter to all of you. So please read it. It has important information, especially now towards end of the year. Another question, if you're in my office, you already received an email. If not, expect an email from your manager regarding the ethics class. There's some confusion because usually we all know our CEs are due April 30th. However, the ethics class has recently changed where I guess there's been a lot of ethic complaints against realtors in our industry. So they want the 2 ethics class to be completed by December 31st. Please make sure that you do complete that. I believe the board will like kick you off if you don't have that done. So there's instructions to follow to see if you already took it or not. If it says incomplete, that means you must do it through the NAR website, NAR. You all should have a login. If you've never been on that website, you can create it. You can create a username. You just need your NRDS number to create your login. And then it's going to be all in caps to check the status of your ethics. You click on it, it's going to either say complete or incomplete. If it's incomplete, it's free, the class, and it's online, 2 hours. You can just take it immediately. So please don't wait till December 31st. The holidays are coming up. We have triple play, office meetings. So if you have time, just do it even over the weekend. Since you don't really have to register for a course, you can just do it at your own leisure. Any questions on the ethics class?
There's a NCJAR is doing a ethics class tomorrow morning actually, but it's not free. It's $15.
Yeah, so if you go through NAR, it's free. So feel free to go through the NAR. It's pretty much just videos and you go through like some lessons. It is 2 hours, it is timed, but if you don't want to pay and you don't want to listen into a Zoom that they pick a time, you can just go on NAR and just take it from there.
Donna,
That's
can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, just
Hi.
real quick. Hi, hon. I completed mine like back in February, maybe even last year.
Okay.
So, I think it said complete. Do I still need to do that number 2? I mean,
Nope.
oh,
If it says
okay.
complete, you're good to go. If it says incomplete, that means you must do the ethics class. Everything else you can do afterwards. Also remember, if you're in my office, you received that email. They did add the 1 CE credit for agency that will be due in April. So if you did complete your 12 CE credits, just remember now you're going to have to take an extra credit this term. Okay, because that means you didn't satisfy your requirements. So please if you have, I know I'm like the type of person that I complete my CEs like as soon as the term starts, but just remember you do need to take that agency class. It hasn't really been approved by Real Estate Commission, so there's no classes, but just remember that they do want you to complete it in this term, which ends April 30th. Our licenses are renewed June 30th. So if you don't finish your CEs by April 30th, the state automatically charges you $200 penalty. And then if you don't complete them by June 30th, then that's when you can renew your license.
Okay,
So
thank you.
you're very welcome. And just remember, if you guys are working towards a goal like becoming a broker, if your license is ever returned to the state, there will be a gap and you start over. So remember, to be a broker, you need to be 3 years full-time in real estate. And even if it's a 1-day break, it becomes like you're just licensed now and you have to start your 3-year term again. So just don't let that happen. Please, just get it done. Also, your board dues are due December 31st. Please don't wait. I know we have a lot of expenses coming up. Please don't wait till last minute. Just start making those payments. It is due December 31st. I think the late fee now is for most boards $100. And so please don't wait. And you don't want to pay the late charge. And then Circle of Excellence applications deadline is January 5th. please don't also wait till January 5th because your manager is not just reviewing yours. They probably have a lot of different applications as well. So just start working on it. And if you need help, reach out to your manager and make an appointment. If you've never done one, or if you're not sure if you're qualified, just reach out to us and we'll be able to help you.
And Donna, sorry to interrupt, but here in Florida it's 2 years to become a broker. Is it different up where you are?
Hi, Lisa. Yes, so this is for New Jersey. Just so you know, our Tuesday mastermind from 9:30 to 10 is just for New Jersey. And then I don't mind you being here, but I don't want you to get confused.
Oh yeah, I'm getting confused already. Okay, thank you for letting me know, because the
So
rules are
you're
different.
just the KB core training for you guys in Florida will be from 10 to 11 every Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Any questions on that? CEs, board dues, NJMLS, E&O insurance, guys, for us, you should all be receiving an invoice. 300 was due October 1st. December 1st is 300. We collect that for the following year. So please make sure, if you did not make a payment, you will start receiving a text message from your manager in the next 2 days, just to remind you. So I hope that if you know that answers all questions that you might have. Okay, I'm just gonna open. Would you guys like me to go over anything on dot loop? Don't be shy.
Yes, please.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, is there anything specific that you would like me to go over?
I guess just a new one, like the buy agency agreement and the listing.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I hope you guys are enjoying the way we broke down the agreements. We wanted to make it more simple for you guys. Unfortunately, you know, we're just keeping you guys in compliance. 90% of these forms are from the state. So I know I feel that every other month there's like a new form, but we're just trying to keep you guys in compliance. And I have to applaud all of you for keeping up with these forms. And our admins have been doing a great job making sure that you guys are getting this signed. And I just want you guys to also understand that if you're on the buyer side, and it's also your responsibility, even if the listing agent does not provide you with the seller disclosure, lead paint, it's your responsibility to make sure you receive that before your client gets under contract. Can you show a property and submit it without it? Absolutely. Should you have your client get under contract without it? Absolutely not. Also, when you receive it, I know we're all busy and we're just trying to get those offers in. Deadline is due at 5 p.m. Don't send a seller disclosure if you have not reviewed it. It's our responsibility to make sure that we review, make sure that it's complete. You don't want to send a seller disclosure that only like the first 2 pages were filled out and then everything else is blank. It's also our responsibility to make sure that the listing agent provided you with the correct updated form. You don't want them to send you a form that's doesn't have the flood risk portion, okay? Because that means it's not valid. Now, if there's ever a lawsuit, you're part of it. It doesn't mean, and I also want to say that just because you do have the right seller disclosure, it doesn't mean that you won't get sued. If you see something that your client is not aware, please bring it to their attention. So if you see something about like structural, flood, anything that you think your client should pay attention to, bring it to their attention. You're not an inspector, you're not trying to be one, but it is our job to let them know. Don't just have them sign it. Okay. Sometimes when they're signing those offers, they're not even reading because they trust us and it's our job to make sure we bring it to their attention.
What
Say-
about new construction?
You need it for new construction as well.
Even though they never lived in the property?
That is correct.
What if the house is a knockdown?
You still need a seller disclosure. It's especially because it has the flood risk. They can just check unknown, no to everything, but every transaction needs a seller disclosure. Now, there was some confusion with the co-op saying that it's not really real property. We still don't have an answer about co-ops, but other than that, everyone should get a seller disclosure.
Can you just put NA?
You can put, there's no NA, there's unknown, or there's like a checkbox for no. Now, I'm gonna show you guys the seller disclosure, so let me go to the seller disclosure first, and then I'll go to the buyer agency, just so that you guys see what I'm talking about.
I'm saying as far as NA, put that maybe at the top of the page, not applicable, and have
You
the
need
owner
to,
sign it.
they do not want that to happen, they do not want you to do that.
Okay.
So let me just open the seller property. All right, so this comes directly from New Jersey Realtor. So if you can see, certain questions don't have the unknown. I can't tell the seller. If the seller makes their own box and put an unknown here, it's fine. Just let it be. You should not be the one to fill out this disclosure for them. You can, of course, help them. We do have agents that need, I'm sorry, we have clients that need assistance with filling this out. That's fine. You should not be the one to fill it out, though. You need to, if somebody doesn't know how to use it through dot loop, print it out, drop it off, have them fill it out.
How do they fill it out online? Like if I send it, do I
So-
make it where they're able to fill in?
Yeah, so if I go to share, let's
Right.
see, let me add a person because it's gonna be hard to tell you. So add a person. So I just added Fran as my client. So if I wanted them to fill it out, so one thing that I want, if you're sending the listing agreement along with this, I would tell you to do it separate, because once you give them permission to fill and sign, they can change your listing agreement. So what I would recommend, if you need a lead paint, and obviously you need the seller disclosure, send it separately. So that way they can
Okay.
fill and sign. And then the listing form, the affiliated business disclosure, and everything else that they don't need to fill, they just need to sign, send it separate. So you need to tell your client, hey, I'm gonna send you 2 separate emails. One of them, you just need to sign our listing agreement. The other email that you will receive, you need to fill it in and sign. So you go to share. And then you see where it says can sign, you're gonna change it, can sign, can fill and sign. So that way I'm giving her permission that she can go ahead and fill out this form and sign it. Does that answer your question, Gail?
Yes, yeah, I guess they never do that. So even though I always wondered why they didn't fill and sign, but okay. Worst
Yes,
case scenario, I could always print it and drop it off, and they
right.
could do it that way. A lot of people, they don't know how to use e-signature, and
Yeah,
don't even
so
know how to
Donna,
use email.
yeah, if-
Donna, after this, would you mind also to go through how we can combine together all those documents so we can just send 2 emails instead of 10 emails?
absolutely. So this is your listing folder, right? So I'm gonna send the CIS, the dual agency, consent for electronic, ARW. Please remember you need to offer it both to buyers and sellers. That's why it's required. Let's say we need the lead paint. The house was built prior to 1978. If you need the lead paint, actually, I'm sorry, we're not sending that out because remember 2 different emails. So let's skip that for now. Affiliated business disclosure. Why do you need this on your listing? Because we're affiliated with ARW, so now we need to disclose it that we are affiliated with them. So that's why this form is required for your listing. And I'm gonna send the listing agreement and the Attorney General letter to property owners. So those, you see, I check marked all of the ones that I want them to sign. I'm gonna click on share. And then I will send it to her. So you see, she has 9 documents that she needs to sign. And you share it. I just don't want to click yes because she'll get like all these emails. So does that answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, the ones that you need to fill to complete, I would tell you to do it this way. I will send the lead paint. I will include the brochure. And I will also include the seller disclosure, share, and I can fill and sign. Now they'll have the opportunity to fill out those questions, sign it, and then go on to the seller disclosure. Also, I just want to bring to your attention on the brochure, it's up to them if they want to read it, but at the bottom, they need to initial. So make sure you assign it. Because that acknowledges that they read about it. Another thing I want to tell you guys that we need to, when we did some of these new rental changes that have happened, I do want to do another one starting in January because I feel like we just need to repeat them just to make sure we all understand. If you have clients buying investment properties and the properties are built prior to 1978, please make sure you let them know about the whole lead paint and how they are required now to get the house lead painted, lead paint inspections. Make sure that they are aware. Can you imagine like you have a closing and now you tell your client they want you to rent their unit and now you tell them, oh yeah, so the law changed and now you have to get a lead paint inspection and certification. Make sure you let them know before they commit to buying a property. Because that could be a lawsuit for you because you did not tell them that they need to do that. They're trying to make this very difficult for us, right? All right, any questions on the listing? Now, I know somebody had asked me that when the client signs, like let's say how we send it as a bundle and they sign it, is there a way for us to just receive in one email saying like as a bundle? Unfortunately, as of right now, that doesn't exist. Maybe down the road in the future, but as of right now, once your client does sign it, you will receive those individual emails like the lead paint was signed, the seller disclosure, the contract, etc. Any questions on the dual agency and the designated agency? Would you like me to go over that and when you should use it?
I would say yes.
Okay. So designated agency is new to all of us. So obviously, some states dual agency is illegal. They don't practice it, but in New Jersey we did. And now what they wanted to do is they introduced a designated agency. We are part of 17 offices in New Jersey. So let's say, Sue, you have a listing in Tinton Falls and I'm in Morristown and I have a buyer. Your seller says, you know what, Sue, I want you to represent me, but I don't feel comfortable you representing the buyer. I want your fiduciary duty to just be to me, and I don't want you to have to disclose anything to the buyer, right? Because as a dual agent, you can do that. Now you have to explain to the seller, well, Mr. Seller, I'm part of a company that we have 17 offices in New Jersey. I don't want us to miss out on a buyer that another agent from my company can bring a buyer, but it will still be separate. So that means you don't have, it's not going to be considered dual. It's going to be considered as a designated agency. You cannot, if you're a team leader, you cannot pick a team member from your team to represent the buyer. You can refer it out if a buyer comes to you. But the point is that you cannot share any information from the seller or the buyer to each other. So that's where the designated agency come in play. The broker manager of the office is the one who designates the buyers, the agent to represent the buyer. So let's say you're the listing agent and you do an open house and a buyer walks in, but you have a designated agency with your seller, and the buyer wants to submit an offer, you can, this is being recorded, but I would tell you just refer it out because right now they have not answered us whether or not that's okay. So I would protect you guys if you just refer the buyer out. For the most part, I think sellers are okay with dual agency, but you do want to let them know that in the event that they don't feel comfortable, let's say you're about to lose that listing because they don't want you to absolutely have anything to do with the buyer, you can then introduce the designated agency.
So for the referral, if we refer it out and we receive the referral fee, right? So should we, or do we have to disclose this referral relationship to the seller?
No.
Okay. What if they ask?
Yeah, you referred it out. You did not represent the buyer. You did not disclose anything to the buyer. It's been a designated agency.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? KV course starts in 5 minutes. I'm very excited for all of us because we're gonna do the newsletters. I hope you guys all take advantage of that. Also, the core listing machine. That's just an extra free step that you guys can utilize to get free promotion on your social media. So if you don't have a Facebook business page as of today, that should be your assignment for this week after the session. You have to create a Facebook business page. All right, back to dot loop. Any questions that you guys would like me to go over before Tyler joins us? So every Tuesday, 9:30, this is going to be our mastermind. If there's any new forms that I need to let you guys know about, I will do that. Other than that, this is a 6-week session with Tyler, and then we're going to repeat it. All right.
Thank you, Adorna.
You're very welcome.